Hey, one person had a single tank, and then there was just me and a Wraith that died already. Great, now we're gonna lose because of a glitch, because the Grunt Goblin is stuck in the top left-hand corner of the... This is just awesome. Now I got one shot by Warden's magic wand, and I was the only one in a Wraith, so there's no... Wow, no one's there to protect the freaking foreigner core, guys. Come on, are you kidding me? And now I'm losing because I'm stuck inside of a wall and I can't do anything? Guys, get in the base. We're supposed to defend, not stay outside of the base. You're supposed to get in the... Alright, let's go. I'm the only one in a freaking tank again. Okay, let's just take... Oh my gosh, what is this gunner even doing? Dude, I'm so done. No one's there to protect the freaking base. Welcome to the best late 2020 Warzone Firefight tips and tricks guide. This is in-depth and applies to any Firefight mode, including Mythic. It'll give you all the help you need to start winning, and you'll never ever get unlucky like the first 30 seconds of the video. Let's begin. 1. Vehicles are the best. Specifically, ghosts in the beginning, and I can't stress this enough. Once you get to rounds 4 and 5, use Wraiths and tanks. Specifically, Temple and Ultra Wraiths, and any tank. Corpse Scorpions will last longer than regular Scorpions, and an Ultra Rare or higher will last much longer than any other one. If you don't have these, there's always something else. Continue watching to find out what. And always buy silver packs to get these. Silver packs are going to be your best friend at grinding to 152 via Firefight. In addition to ghosts, tanks, and wraiths, banshees are also very useful, but only for very specific situations. More on that coming later in this video. 2. Weapons. There are a few weapons that are more important than vehicles when it's their time to shine. Here are all the weapons, which I'll then go into more detail on when they are best to use. Scourge of Fire, Spartan Lasers, Splinter Turrets, Shengun Turrets, AMPs, Tartarus' Gavel, High Five and Spinker X, and Twin Jewels of Mathrillion. I'll go in order from rec cost least to greatest, bringing us to Chain Gun Turrets. Now, Chain Gun Turrets are only necessary on Raid and Epic 7, but they are really important and can help you win the game. Only use them if you get the Ghost Boss or Banshee bosses around 2. They are very clutch and will help you win, most definitely. Sometimes, round 2 is game over if you get the Banshees, but with Chain Gun Turrets, easy win. Next up is the Splinter Turret. So, these bad boys melt the following bosses and enemies. Wraiths, Knights, Hunters, and ghosts. They melt them. Anytime you get an early game Wraith boss, Knight boss, or Hunter boss, whip out this dude and you'll see them gone in a flash. Next is EMPs, including all plasma pistols and grenade launchers, specifically Void's Tier and grenade launchers. You typically use these against ghosts, sometimes they'll flip, and then the elite pops out of it, which you can then splatter or easily EMP and kill. Next up is the Plasma Caster / Scourge of Fire, mainly the Scourge of Fire, but Plasma Caster also destroys. I can't stress how deadly they are, especially the Scourge of Fire. It'll melt any boss, ghosts, wraiths, mantises, knights, hunters, literally anything. For vehicles, charge it and let it track on, and explode that way. For any other enemy, on-ground enemy, spam it at the ground, leading to plasma explosives explode right onto it. It just destroys them. I can't even emphasize on how good it destroys them. Alright, now the most important weapon in all of Firefight are the Spartan Lasers. The regular one is common in silver packs and gold packs, and it only costs 4x to use. It'll melt vehicle bosses quickly and is key to destroy a Grunt Goblin very quickly. Blast its shields with the laser. Sometimes you'll need 2. If you hit all 4 shots, that's good enough and the shield will break. All it takes is 4 shots of a laser and it'll break. However, for the mythic Grunt Goblins, you do need 2 lasers, but still, only 2 lasers. Once the shield is broken, pop the Grunt on the inside of the mech in the head for an instant takedown, and it's dead. I always go through at least 3 lasers per game, just because of how useful they are. Second to last, the big boys, rockets and gavels. These are the only rockets that are useful. Spinker EX and High Five. These rockets all do serious damage in a tiny amount of time. However, the ammo unfortunately runs out very quickly. That's where Gavel comes into play. It deals as much damage as these rockets, but you have 20 swings, plus extra shield speed and jump height. The thing is about Gavels is that you can't use one every game because it's a mythic and you'll run out. So only use them when you absolutely need to. I only use them on rounds that have 4 of the mythic hunters. Whip out a Gavel and you can kill them in 30 seconds. It's clutch. The last weapon, the Twin Jewels of Mathrillion, is huge, but there are just a few scenarios where it fits in, but it fits in perfectly. You use these things for breaking the wings on knights, popping the Grunt Goblin's shield, and shooting Warden in the bad spot. Nothing else kills Warden quicker than shooting it in the weak spot with the Twin Jewels of Mathrillion. That's it. Not a lot, but each situation you can use it in is huge and will save the game. Alright, number 3, a very important tip. Speedrun rounds. Speeding through these games is what's going to get you the most XP. You get XP boosts for speedrunning rounds. And of course, you get through games quicker. If you win games quicker, you're just gonna get so much more XP in a quicker amount of time. Alright, so there are many rounds that can end the instant they start if you are prepared. I'm gonna prepare you. Lots of these rounds are on Temple, Attack on Sanctum, and Skirmish at Darkstar. In general, on any round that has the Grunt Goblin, you can melt it if you have a Spartan Laser. Hit all 4 shots on its shield, and then pop it in the head, and then bam, the Grunt Goblin's already dead. Now I'm going to get in depth on each map that has speedrun rounds, starting with Temple. Specifically on round 3. There are 2 different rounds on round 3 that you can speedrun. One is where you get 2 recon pilots. They spawn in the back of the map, in front of the home base, one on each of the structures. You can be there right when it spawns and punch it in the back, and you can instantly kill it, and then just zoom over to the other one, punch it in the back, it's dead, the round's done. The other possible round 3 for Temple are 2 Warthogs that spawn in the very bottom of the middle of the Temple structure itself. Have a Spartan Laser ready, charge it up, it'll one-shot a single Warthog, and then you can just one-shot the other Warthog and the round's already over. Very, very simple. The next map with speedrun rounds is Skirmish at Darkstar. There's a way to speedrun round 1 and 2, but only 1 round of each. The possible round 1 that you can speedrun is where these 2 soldiers spawn in the back of the map. Run over to them ASAP and attempt to backsmack them. Sometimes they'll kill you, or the Phaetons will kill you. But if you're fast enough, you should be okay, and you can backsmack them both, and round 1 will instantly end. The second round on Skirmish at Darkstar is round 2. It's where a Wraith spawns. Go inside a fortress, spawn out a splinter turret, and then stay on the inside of the fortress structure so that you have a shot on the Wraith with your splinter turret. In less than that splinter turret, it'll die. Very, very quickly, in less than a minute. You just have to make sure that you stay back because it'll try to shoot you if you get close, and chances are it'll kill you. So just make sure you stay back, because it will not shoot you even if you have a shot on it. There are 4 maps that have the possible round 1 of getting soldiers. These maps are Prospect, Raid on Apex 7, March on Stormbreak, and Urban. If you get the round 1 that gives you 2 soldier bosses, here's what you do on each map. On Prospect, get on top of the base as soon as possible and backsmack them. On Raid on Apex 7, 2 of them spawn in the back of home base on each side. Grab a Mongoose, follow this course, and backsmack them for a quick end round 1. On Stormbreak, use this lift, boost back under the structure, and backsmack them. That's all you gotta do. For Urban, it is round 2. 3 knights will spawn. Get a splinter turret inside of the armory and shoot at them from inside the armory, just like this. The final map where you can easily speedrun rounds is Attack on Sanctum for rounds 2, 3, and 4. For round 2, it has to be the one where the knights spawn. If it's the knights, grab a splinter turret inside of the garage and blast it at them. They'll die very quickly. For round 3, if it's the grunt mech, grab any variant of a Spartan Laser, plasma pistol, brute plasma rifle, or the safeguard sentinel beam. Blast its shields with any of those weapons, and it won't be long until it pops. Then shoot the grunt on the inside of the mech in the head for a swift win. Round 4 is also a possibility of getting a grunt mech. Do the same exact thing around 3, and it's over. Normally you want to go with the Spartan Laser for round 4. Another possible round 4 are 4 Phaetons spawning across the map. They are very, very weak. Grab a binary and snipe their weak spot. So earlier on this video I mentioned the Banshee being very, very useful. Here it is. For any round 5 where a group of elite bosses spawn, you can instantly splatter them and spawn kill them by flipping right into them. This works for a round 5 on March on Stormbreak and a round 5 on Escape from Ark. Alright, that brings us to number 4. Pay attention to this, it is really important. These are things that you should never ever do. They are hurting you, your team, and your XP earnings. Thing 1. If you have a Banshee, don't ever do this. 1. You're going to die way sooner. You might as well get out of the Banshee and spawn something else. 2. You are in your teammates' way. If they have tanks and race, you'll get in the way of their bullets, and you'll just help to defend the boss from them. Thing 2 of things you should never do. Have nothing on rounds 4 and 5. Please just always have a vehicle. Always be in a vehicle. When I'm the only person in a Wraith or tank on round 5, I instantly know that I'm gonna have to be taking an L just because no one else is in a tank or a Wraith. And that's where the firepower is to kill the bosses on these rounds. Thing 3 of things you should never do. Shoot a boss with loadout weapons or standard weapons. Now, unless obviously it's on round 1 or 2, but on round 3 up, you should never ever shoot a boss with your loadout weapons. It's just, you're not doing anything. You can be doing something else more useful. Wreck something out or pick up a better gun that a higher up enemy drops, such as splinter turrets, scatter shots, incineration cannons, and other things. If someone leaves their own vehicle and gets a new one, or spawns a weapon or something, take their vehicle. It's better than a loadout weapon. That is all. The most useful tips and tricks right here. However, I'd like to cover one last thing. You find yourself in a scenario where you don't have enough of these higher tier weapons or vehicle wrecks. You only have 3 H-Ultras. You only have 2 Spartan Lasers. That's okay. That means you probably have a plethora of other things such as ghosts and normal plasma casters, or something else mentioned in tips 1 and 2. Use what you can, and always, always buy silvers like I said. Silvers all the way. Another clutch tip for Mythic Firefight, and only applies to Mythic Firefight, is the Overshield power-up. If your shields are down and you don't want to die, using an Overshield power-up will actually recharge your shields, plus give you an extra Overshield. So that can really come into play in Mythic Firefight. It is very clutch.